Good afternoon. I am Ankit Talwani, a student of SRM Medical College Hospital and Research Center. And today I am going to be presenting on the topic of life cycle of the malarial parasite, also known as the apicomplexin plasmodium. Now, we have identified 125 species of plasmodium parasites in nature. Yet only these five are of medical importance to us, as these are the only parasites which cause the malarial infection in human beings. Here is a picture showing the view of a sporozoite, which is a morphological form of the parasite under a microscopic view. Now, like every parasitic infection, the requirement of two hosts is uh, universal, and it is similar with our malarial parasite as well. The definitive host being the female Anopheles mosquito, which is characterized with its long proboscis and requirement of taking blood meal before laying its eggs, and the intermediate host being human beings. Now, in the female Anopheles mosquito, it is called the definitive host as the sexual maturation is reached only in these organisms, and in human beings, there is only development but no sexual maturation, or we can say there is no uh, fertilization occurring. Now, in the human cycle, which this is what we are mainly interested in, as we can see, the first incidence is due to the infection of the infected. The infection is due to the bite of the infected female Anopheles, in which the mosquito is releasing the sporozoites into the human being, and once these reach the circulation, they directly go and once they reach the liver, they attack the hepatocytes. Now, usually, these sporozoites, once they infiltrate the hepatocyte, they form a trophozoite, which is also their feeding form. And these trophozoites then turn into the pre-erythrocytic schizoid. Now, mind you, it's called pre-erythrocytic schizoid as there is no infiltration of the RBC yet. However, this is a feature which will later on be seen. And once this pre-erythrocytic schizoid undergoes again its pre-erythrocytic schizogony, it will form your merozoites. Once the merozoites are released, they they identify the RBC surface forins, and they attach to them there and eventually infiltrate in maybe about 30 minutes after release into circulation, and then it undergoes the process of erythrocytic schizogony, which means it has infiltrated the RBC and now it will mature, and these are the steps which will follow. So the early uh, trophozoite form is formed, which is also called as your ring form, and after that it develops into your late trophozoite form, following which it forms your immature and your mature schizoid. Now, this mature schizoid is once it is released into your circulation, it is called an erythrocytic merozoite. And some erythrocytic merozoites may undergo asexual, reproduction, as in like binary fission, etc., etc. Whereas some will undergo sexual differentiation, and they will form your gametes, which is also, and the process is called your gametogony, right? And for each species of your plasmodium parasite, the shape varies. However, usually the male gametocyte is having a diffuse nucleus and blue cytoplasm. The nucleus stains red and the cytoplasm stains blue. For your female gametocyte, the nucleus stains red, but instead of being diffuse, it is compact, and the cytoplasm stains deep blue. and not just normal blue. This obviously, however, varies from species to species. Moving on, the mosquito cycle. Now, once these gametes are formed, your microgamete being your male gamete, and your macrogamete being your female gamete, there is exflagellation occurring from the microgametes, leading to your microgamete and your macrogamete fertilizing together to form your zygote. Now, excuse me, the zygote undergoes forms of maturation, and it forms an ookinete, which is a motile form, and it travels all the way to your midgut. So this ookinete travels to your midgut, and once it travels to your midgut, it further undergoes development and forms your oocyst. Now your oocyst travels upwards from your midgut and goes up till the stomach of the uh, female Anopheles mosquito, where it gets embedded, and you can see small sporozoites again being formed, which is just attached to the basement membrane of the stomach of the female Anopheles mosquito. Now these sporozoites, which are within the oocyst, are released, and they travel upwards, and finally they reach the salivary gland of the female Anopheles. And when it goes to take up the blood meal again to lay its own eggs, it's when it goes and gives your sporozoites into the human being. That is about all we have to know just to get a basic outline of the life cycle of the Plasmodium parasite.